Well, guys and gals, so it's actually been a couple weeks since we did our big Brutus and Mocan video, and you'll see the dad's car is up in the air. He's got one axle out, he's working on the other side, and well, there's a whole reason why Dad is currently tearing his 8 3/4 apart. And well, I'm going to take you guys on a little walk. We're going to talk about why we're doing that, because this goes directly into everything we bought at Mocan, and actually, well, another swap meet we just got done with. So let's go look at some cool parts if you're still here watching. One special delivery for Scott's Speed Shop. Here I come. Sorry, this is the 5th time I've had to refilm this because the postman keeps bringing me more cool stuff. I got a box from Jags, even though I didn't buy anything from Jags, but that's gonna have cool stuff in it, I imagine. Oh, that actually goes right here. But what we got inside these boxes is I'm gonna be honest, I am completely flabbergasted. I never thought I'd get this opportunity, and I have to thank everybody at Edelbrock for one, working with me and hooking me up, because they are a great company. I've never been the biggest fan of Edelbrock carburetors, but I tell you what, with Project White Trash coming up soon, but you guys will get to see a little bit of that insight in this video. It'll be running a pair. And now for this next project, what's inside these boxes, at the end of the video you're going to get to see us unbox. And when I have Anna here help me, it involves this behemoth that some of you may have forgot that I bought for myself on my 30th birthday last year. And well, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you enjoy the swap meet scores from 2 different swap meets. Enjoy the story about how we hooked up a fellow Mopar guy. And now, I guess this is just karma all coming back to play good. So, thanks to the good Lord's blessings, we got ourselves a beautiful pair of mystery boxes from Edelbrock. So what do you say? Let's get right into this swap meet video so that way we can get those unboxed and we can all be excited. All right, let's get to it. At least hopefully you're still watching. So, the parts we picked up at the swap meets. None of this is mostly all junk more or less, minus my early B-body cross member. Now I will say this, I blundered at Mocan and bought this complete K-member thinking, oh, it's early B-body, it looks weird. But I knew it was familiar to me. It's not early B-body. This is actually early A-body, just like what's in the 66 Dart. But for the money I paid for it, I couldn't pass it up. With manual steering, gearbox and everything, motor mounts, that was well worth it. But I do have my early B-body K-member that is for another project. I need to get some big block mounts for it because, well, along with that, we got plans for that particular engine that you saw us do in the radiator review, which still does a fantastic job. I've run that thing more and more, and I just can't get it to freaking overheat. Even took off the electric fans, and she stayed just fine. So that's a really good deal. Now, what we're here to show you was my big score at the Mocan swap meet. I scored myself an A-body 8 3/4, complete with drums, hardware, lug nuts. The only thing this thing doesn't have, it's even got parking brake cables for, I mean, God's sake. But the only thing it doesn't have is a sure grip. And I recently got met up with a dude through another friend, parts deal, a pretty cool black dude out of Kansas City, and he's got a really sweet duster. Oh my. It's true to the period. Krager wheels. It's like a red Brandywine color with gold stripes. And I mean, it's all metal flake. And I mean, this thing is straight out of the period. Dude is true old school. We hit it off like no other. His problem is that he needed an 8 3/4. And I didn't really want to sell my newly acquired A-body 8 3/4. But he also wanted a 355 sure grip. I ain't got that. So we're trying to figure out a deal on how to make this happen, because the man's been trying to get his car together for, I guess, 4 or 5 years, and one shop screwed him and took a bunch of his good parts. So I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I want to help out a fella who just wants to get his car done, because I know what that's like, just to want to get your car done. So I've got an A-body 8 3/4, but not a 355 sure grip. Well, Dad, and I'll go and be honest, I called a bunch of buddies, asked around. Nobody wanted to sell their 355 sure grips.
Completely understandable. Even some of the numbers I threw at him, I figured some of them jumped, but nobody would separate with it. Dad piped up, well, I don't drive my Charger that much anyways, so. And he wants a strange Dana 60 under his car just because it'll be Hemi with a 4-speed. His 4-speed is actually right there. And he wants a Dana behind it because that would make it a correct deal. A 68 RT if it was a true Hemi car, but it's a 440 car. But anyways, regardless of that, so Dad decided, well, I'll just take my rear end apart. I'll take that open diff with a 276 gear. I'll throw it in my Charger. I don't care. It'll spur me into buying my strange Dana 60 with some of that money from that Sure Grip unit and whatever we get for the rear end. So that's working out fantastic. The only part is I'm losing my A-body 8 3/4. But you know what? In the name of all things Mopar and cool car guy karma, we're going to hook up old Elvis Jr., which is his real name, actually. Dude's super cool. If he wants to be on film later, we'll film him. But anyways, let's take you around and show you some more stuff we picked up. Also got 9. Actually, I just bought these at the local swap meet, the Lawrence one. These are all decommissioned road signs. Those will be 4-pan patches for a future project, if you know what I mean. Also picked up a hood scoop that's already been painted that I did for another project. And unfortunately, these are not for that same project, but scored a set of the super long, I mean, they're taller than me, Corvette style side pipes. I love these things. These things look awesome. That's what's on Dad's van. And I didn't pick those up at the swap meet, but for anybody curious, those particular rusty headers came off my buddy Ron's old early B-body race car that he used to race at a Dodge dealership in actually Lawrence, Kansas, where we did the last swap meet where I bought that stuff. Those, which we tried on the Barracuda that didn't work, will be going on this same project that we picked up the scoop for, some 4-pan patches, and also got some more stuff right in here for that car, aka the ultimate in white trash exhaust system, dumping right out of fender well headers. Purple Hornies. And I also got them Edelbrock valve covers, picked those up for my good friend Brian because he loves these Edelbrock Elites, and I figured it wouldn't hurt. For the price I paid for them, he can hang those on the shelf if he wanted to, and they're really nice. So I got those for you, Brian, if you wanted them. Picked up a set of 15 by 6 and 15 by 10 Mopar Keystones. These are Keystone Classics. Not sure what I'm going to do with them, but I wasn't going to pass them up. Nobody should ever pass up a set of fat Keystones, or any fat wheels for that matter. And also picked for my buddy Tommy another Demon annular booster carburetor. I believe it's a 650 because it's got the smaller Venturi bore here, where this one's a 750 and it's much larger. And Tommy also gave me this because he wasn't sure what it was, and I'm not real sure what Mallory Unilite this fits, but this is actually perfect for building one of my twin distributor drives because it's already got the Tang drive on it. This thing is perfect. And Tommy, if this thing's worth a bunch of money, I'm sorry, you gave it to me. And I will be making use of it. Also picked up some more parts here for that same project car. And I've got some red Moroso valve covers coming for it. And we got some of these little carburetor plates that move the carburetors outboard, because with that other project, I'm all alluding here to a future project. So I'm thinking stock dual quad intake with an RB intake, at that matter, with spacers and a couple AVS2 Edelbrocks, because that's what fits on those intakes. And well, I got to break out of my Holly norm just for a little bit. So I think that project's going to turn out pretty dang cool. And if you guys haven't gotten any hints at what I'm talking about, I've hinted at it a lot, but it's going to be my next Jezebel-esque full-on build. But it ain't going to happen here for a while. We still got plenty of other cars to show off and build. Let me think, what else did we buy at the swap meet? Oh yeah, I forgot about these boxes. We got a couple of alternators, and one guy had a booth full of fender-mounted turn signals, along with the 68 style marker lights. Just a whole crap load of them. I mean, I filled this alternator box with them, and I was picking through them, trying to pick the best ones, and Dad and I both just piped up about the same time and just said, how much for everything? And we all basically were on the same page for a price, and Well, heck yeah, anytime you can get those, that's a score. Let's see, also got some pedal pads for B-body. Literally a brand new Proform chrome alternator, one wire, the same what's on the Barracuda. My buddy he needed a double groove and he didn't like the chrome finish as much. He bought a black one, hates the black finish, so now he's gonna have to find a chrome one with a double pulley. And I guess these pulleys are just really hard to change, but yet, brand new, only used for mock-up. You can't go wrong with that at a swap meet, especially for the price of what these things cost. And then we also got this stock feller, which is perfectly fine. Oh, and one more thing I'll show you is we got the lathe in full operation now. I fixed the lead screw on it, which you guys didn't know was messed up. And these right here are your lead screw half nuts, and what they do is they clamp down over the lead screw and allow the carriage here to feed forward and back depending on which way the gearbox is facing. So right now it'd be feeding away from the chuck. And so these sit here and they clamp down on the lead screw, and as it turns, it moves the whole carriage down the line because it's attached right here to this lever. When I pull this down, that activates the half nut, and now I can't move the carriage. But if I release it, I can move the carriage nice and easy. And these were just worn out beyond compare, so thank you again to Anna for buying me the brass ones, because the guy on eBay for some reason has me blocked and won't let me buy any of his 3D printed parts either, because, well, I bought one of his 3D printed parts about a year ago to go right here on my shaper, and it broke immediately. And I told the guy, if you're going to 3D print parts that are actually going to use for adjustments like this, they need to be strong. And his, well, they weren't strong enough. Literally, it broke immediately. So that kind of sucked. But anyways, we got that all fixed so we can get back to turning and knurling and making all sorts of crazy stuff on the lathe. Oh, I didn't know this was going to take 10 minutes to film this. But I think that basically covers everything we scored. I mean, we have bought a lot of neat stuff for various projects because, well, we got a lot of different things coming up. Oh, and we scored a whole mess load of parts for El Badgerbug. But that is all going to be pertained in its videos. Just like I'm not taking you and showing you too much on the other projects because, well, when the series are done, or at least when I get enough video content filmed on these vehicles that I can produce more than 1 or 2 videos, then you get to see some more. By the way, I also got to say, for the guys who have seen stuff on the Badgerbug, unfortunately the skull and crossbone will probably be going because we actually got word from one of the guys at Swap Meet who knows that bug, and apparently the old boy who used to have it, who put the skull and crossbone on it, is not so kosher. So he told us to get rid of it and distance ourselves from that and make sure the bug is our own entity and not tied to that guy. I don't know what drama's there, but sound like stuff that we probably don't want to be involved in. But I want to thank you guys for coming along on this journey, for sticking through this entire video, because I planned on it being a Mocan video more or less, and it really turned into literally just, there was nothing really that exciting at Mocan besides the drag racing, which I'll watch, but I don't really like filming it that much. We mostly go for the swap meet and hang out with all of our buddies, which we missed our great friends Ed and Daniel Barber. I really did miss you guys. I wish you guys were there. And of course my buddy Cody, but Cody had other obligations with his dad, so prayers to his dad. He's getting better, so thank the Lord for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you dig all the stuff that's coming in the future. There's Dad in the rain as usual, taking his car apart. I love my dad. I was really, this Elvis feller here, I don't know this guy that well, but when I take on a business deal with somebody, it's kind of like when I get a friend in my life. You're not just my friend for a short period of time. No, you become part of my life, and if you do something heinous to me, well, you kind of mess me up a little bit. But this guy, just honest guy, wants to get his car done, so I really appreciate my dad for, and I really got to thank my dad for selling Elvis that third member, because I tried and tried, and I just want to help Elvis C get his car done, his Duster, and get him where he can go cruising it just like everybody else can. You know, a lot of our cars we can still go cruising in, but this guy's got one awesome car. This is what's keeping him from going cruising. So we're going to hook you up, Elvis. And thank you all. Also, thank you, Elvis, for joining and subscribing to the channel and starting to watch the videos, my friend. So I'm going to start tearing all this stuff apart. We're going to get all this ready for you. But as always, guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you next time. And sorry about not doing a video on tearing the 8 3/4 apart, mainly because I've already done it before. And I'm not doing any setup work. I'm literally just going to be pulling axles, pulling the third member, swapping them, so that way he can have his rear end. And I'm going to take a bunch of photos for him, make sure everything's cool and kosher and ready to rock and roll for him. So, as always, guys, I want to thank you for watching. So, as always, take care. And, so as always, guys, Dad, Mom.
Bye-bye.
Well, I just hope you understand, ain't everybody gets the rear end out of a Hemi Charger.
That is true.
So that ought to double the price of just buy that. But anyway, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, fellers. Thanks for watching. Well, howdy, fellers and non-fellers. I know that was a beautiful ending to that video, but we have some unexpected deliveries, and I have some things to show you. So what do you say? Let's show you some more cool stuff. All right, so right before I can really show you what's inside of them, which I do love, the discrete boxes, I have actually been waiting on this box to show up for well over a week, and it's not from Jegs, it's just the box that was shipped, and thank you, Big Mike, for hooking me up. But we're going to go ahead and open that up because I have been waiting for those, and, well, they're for a very particular project. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, let's see what we got inside this Jegs box. But by the way, everything we're featuring right now has to do with this car. Well, except for what's in this box. Everything in these Edelbrock boxes and this big old cardboard box has to do with a particular car of mine and a dream I've always had. So, if you guys are interested in merch pertaining to Jezebel, Gunslinger Graphix is the place to go to get it. Really nice, high quality merch. In fact, it's a little warm for today. But inside of here, I see red anodized greatness. Let's get this bubble wrap off and give you a little sneak peek. Oh, baby. There is one thing I'm a sucker for, and that is anodized Moroso valve covers. And I do believe these ones came off of old Zeker's Daytona. They came from my buddy Big Mike in Las Vegas. He has a business there where he sells parts, and he is a really good friend of mine. He owns a couple different Facebook groups, Mopars RB only, and Hemi's only, and I'm sure he's got a couple others. There we go. Oh yeah, that's the vision. Well, at least there's one dream realized. Yep, I am digging that. Of course, this is all just for mock-up, and you guys will have you guys will have seen the swap meet scores, and I'm sorry to go ahead and spoil so much for you, but I'm just excited, and I'm freaking giddy, because I was pretty sure those red Morosos were lost. Like, they were they got shipped out May 3rd, and they just showed up today. They've been through the ringer trying to find those. And I'm actually, with what's inside those boxes, kind of the same thing. Had a problem with where they went. They didn't end up at the right place. Luckily, Edelbrock got them back, and we're able to get the shipping thing figured out. But I do enjoy the discrete boxes. I was kind of nervous about them showing up in, well, the normal boxes they come in. But what do you say? We've wasted enough time. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the swap meet score video so far. Hopefully, well, maybe there's something in there you want. If you found anything in that video you wanted that I wasn't explicitly stating for a project, my email is in the description below, along with the link to get any kind of merch that you might be interested in. And I also just want to take a minute and thank every single one of you who watched the Big Brutus video and left me a comment. I appreciate you guys for paying homage to that big beast and that awesome piece of machinery. That means the world to me, the guys who watched it, commented, and enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Now we're going to do some car stuff, because I know not everybody's into the antique iron. So what do you say let's get right into the unboxing? Oh yes, because you have already seen all the swap meet scores, so what else does Jed have to show you and Edelbrock have to show you as far as my future plans and dreams that have to do with... Ah, yes, sir. Well, wait, that's the wrong blue kind of patina car. Ah, that one. Yes, that blue patina car, Jezebel. Yes. I'm going to take you guys along for a quick little story before we get to these boxes. I apologize, but a long, long time ago, we put a Hemi together for my dad for 68 charge, and that's still one of my most favorite and treasured things I think I've ever done, minus building the first baby Hemi with him. The sweet sound of 426 Hemi in the morning. Where our outro clip comes from, which I got reminded of that because I was talking with Mr. John Cope about another project of ours, and he reminded me how much he loves that clip. So thank you again, Mr. Cope. He has a YouTube channel, by the way, if you guys are interested. You need to go look that up. Cope Racing Transmissions. Great tech. I mean, unfathomably great tech on his YouTube channel. But as pertaining to Jezebel and what's inside those mystery boxes, is we built Dad a Hemi many moons ago out of a stock iron block that was an ex-NASCAR job, and we needed new heads. Well, at that time, you had Hemi Cylinder Head, you had Stage 5 Engineering, and you had Edelbrock. And I guess you could technically consider Mopar Performance, but they were known to have issues. And we picked the Edelbrock heads, and I always said to myself, if I ever build a quote-unquote street Hemi, it'll have those. And unfortunately, thanks to back order and the economy and everything else in this universe going haywire, that dream felt like it was gonna never happen. And so I gotta thank Edelbrock, because let's just get right into it. What do you say? But more than anything, I am ecstatic and excited, because I didn't think I would be able to ever have the opportunity to, let alone own another set of these, let alone afford them. Oh, there we go. There's the box I'm used to. There we go. Come on. And also props to the delivery man who brought these. I don't know how the heck you carried both of these things out of your delivery truck and put them on my back porch, but props to you, FedEx guy. So if you can't tell what we got here, it's a cylinder head box. At least it appears to be. Now, my grandma always had a saying about don't trust the box, because it was a family tradition at Scott Family Christmases to take a high-end box, you know, say a KitchenAid blender, and then you put ice cube trays in it. A cruel joke, yes, but it was a family tradition. Was Grandma, oh! Okay, Grandma would be wrong on this account. I can trust the box. Sorry, Grandma. Oh, man. So we have here is a set of heads from Edelbrock for the one, the only, the king of all V8 engines, the engine that everything aspires to be in my book. And I apologize, I am a Hemi freaking nut. Aluminum Hemi heads, set up for roller valve train. Of course, these will be going to my machinist to get double checked for springs to make sure they're going to work with the cam, whatever I end up with. But I know these heads work fantastic. They have a 232 intake, which is bigger than stock, which is 2 1/4. They have a 194 exhaust, which is stock, but they reshape the ports just enough. You'll see the exhaust is more of a kind of an oval shape, kind of. And the best part is, when you put these things on, they look stock. I love these cylinder heads, and honestly, for the price, there is not another Hemi head out there as competitive to these prices. Edelbrock has. So, a big shout out, a huge thank you to Edelbrock, because, well, if my viewers don't know, I'm a Hemi fanatic. The Pro Stock, Dad's Hemi,
anything Hemi, I am a huge fan of. No offense, my wedge motors and big blocks and small blocks I have that are cool, but oh, I am just excited, ecstatic, and I'm winded because I'm getting to realize a dream here again, because I had to sell my last pair when I sold the Pro Stock motor before I got it back, but I never got the heads back. And so I'm just, oh. Guys at Edelbrock, thank you very much. Without this opportunity, without you guys being willing to work with YouTubers and stuff, this would have never happened. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart for at least lessening the pain on my wallet as it shrunk. Because instead of my wallet shrinking to nothing, it only shrank to barely nothing, because it's already basically nothing. Because I have too many projects going on and just too much dreams. But you know what? My good friend Michael Strick had a saying: the time to buy is when it's ahead, when it's in front of you, and when you got the dough. And it was right time, right place, and now I got me a pair. And if you guys don't remember what's inside that box, let me just bring you in, because Bill Mitchell performance block, billet steel main caps, all aluminum freaking Hemi. Yeah, it is really muggy here today, and well, I apologize again. I'm ecstatic and flabbergasted. This has been an eventful past couple weeks, and yeah, this is the remnants of the old Pro Stock motor you guys might remember. That tunnel ram right there, that Indy, is what I plan on putting on this setup right here potentially. So I'm gonna have to wait until Dad or Anna gets here to help me get that block lifted out, because I am no longer strong enough to do that or dumb enough to do that. We're gonna set you guys up a mock-up, mainly because I'm sure you guys have already watched plenty of the swap meet stuff, and well, we need just one more neato engine up on a stand. What do you say? Just one more cool mock-up. So join me for that, and of course, join me for the mock-up of the white trash 440 right there. I said I wasn't going to get that thing out without the help of someone else, but you know what? I got creative and I used leverage to get her out. She's not very heavy, but it is good to see that beautiful Bill Mitchell Products block again. I can't tell you how much I was ecstatic, how excited I was when I first got this thing, because it's just a work of art. And doing my research, this is the best bang for the buck as far as buying a brand new aluminum water block, honest to God. And talking with Bill, he was a really nice guy, awesome to work with. Beautiful machine work, like I said, billet steel main caps. This is currently set up for a 4 1/4 bore, but I think we're going to wind up going to a 4/500 bore at the end. We got a little bit of paper right there, but that's to be seen in the future, because we don't know what we're going to wind up doing just yet. But we are in parts gathering mode, and I'm just ecstatic. I'm giddy still. It's been like an hour since I filmed all this, and I'm still just processing everything. My red valve covers that were lost in the mail for over a week, they showed up from my friend Mike,
and the heads, which were seemingly lost or may not show up, also showed up. And it's just a whole bunch of dreams coming together. Like the 340's basically almost done. Future project White Trash is coming along great, thanks to my great friends at like Cope Racing Transmissions, who I'm going to be working with hopefully on transmission parts. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed so far. And well, we can't be done yet, can we? No, we can't be done. So like I said, we're not quite done yet because I just can't leave well enough alone. Now I don't want to put the dowel pins or anything in this block because, well, I'm still unsure of what bore size I'm going to run. I'm actually talking with my good friend Shane about what this thing's going to wind up being, especially since we have these bad boys. We want to make sure we're using those things to the full potential, and I'll probably be working with my local machine shop, Advanced Engine Machine. Of course, as always, they've done all my work and they're the only people I trust, but I don't want to go messing with this thing too much because I don't want to create more work for Mark. So I'm going to create my own freaking head studs. All my head studs are currently in use on the Pro Stock holding its heads on, so I figured a couple of grade 8 bolts. We're going to turn the heads down. We'll run the die down here to give us some threads, and we're going to put them right there through the rocker stands where it'll be stable, and that way we can actually do some mock-ups. So to the lathe. Alrighty, well, you will have seen that. Wow. Options, options, options. See, my dream with this Hemi was always to have it all aluminum and then chrome valve covers, just because the chrome wouldn't detract. Now, on the other hand of that, I do have an incredibly rare pair of Street Hemi Mickey Thompsons. My other pair, used to have 2 pairs of these, and one pair went to a collector, and I have many friends who are after these valve covers, but we may end up using them on this engine. The one thing I do have to agree is they do kind of mess with the shape of the engine. They make it more of a trapezoid versus the kind of clean organic lines of the chrome ones. And, well, these aren't the prettiest, but none of my stuff is pretty. But I just can't help myself. These heads are just, I can't even begin to just fully grasp just how awesome these cylinder heads are and how happy I am to finally have another pair. And by the way, my little grade 8 bolt dowels work great. So they're holding the heads on. Now I can really continue to dream. And of course, just one more big shout out and thank you. Sorry, it's very hot in here and I just turned the AC on. To Edelbrock, because, well, you guys, that would still just be a block inside that cardboard box waiting, and now it's just that much closer. Rotating assembly, rocker arms, I've got intakes. Oh man, the future is looking pretty dang sweet as far as the Hemis, but that's a long pipe dream down the road because, well, we need to focus on these and finish these up. So now that I've got that out of my system and I am sweat ecstatic without words, I'm lost for breath because I got to do a whole bunch of stuff so far. I got to turn on the lathe, which I've got some more stuff coming up on that, little projects for that, maybe if you guys are interested. I am just super ecstatic. And again, thank you guys for checking this out. And again, thank you, Edelbrock. You guys, That's all I got. I'm just lost for words, so thank you a million. Thank you. I know they weren't free, and I still had to pay for them, but it was just one of those things, right place, right time, and the right group of people, right friends. Same thing with the group at Holly who helped me out. I love the fact that these companies are really starting to pay attention to their customer base and are wanting to get people involved and get them back to buying parts. And I cannot say enough for Edelbrock. The deal I got from them, I'm an Edelbrock guy now. What can I say? They have converted me because there will be a pair on that engine right there. So you guys look forward to seeing that in the future. I hope you do, because it's going to be a wild ride. We got the W2 340. We got white trash coming up. And, of course, a whole new video series on a freaking Volkswagen Badger Bug. Hope you guys look forward to seeing all this stuff in the future. We're going to go right back to that old ending with Mom, Dad, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, take care, and so as always, guys, Dad, Mom.
Bye-bye.
Well, I just hope you understand, ain't everybody gets rear end out of a Hemi Charger.
That is true.
So that ought to double the price of just about that. But anyway, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, fellas. Thanks for watching.